Deal agreed. Man set to join Premier League rivals this summer after 2 years at Old Trafford. Hello, my Manchester family. Welcome again to the channel. Manchester United's medical department is set for a shake-up. Manchester United club Dr. Jim Moxon is set to join Premier League rivals Brighton and Hove Albion when he leaves Old Trafford this summer, according to reports. The former Liverpool man has spent 2 years with the Red Devils, but is set to depart at the end of the season and has already been offered a new role by the Seagulls. That is according to a report from Sussex World. Last week it was reported by The Athletic that United's head of medical services, Gary O'Driscoll, was also set to leave the club after just 18 months. United have battled plenty of injuries this term and have a number of players who have missed international duty as they continue their recoveries at Carrington. Amorim, on using international break to get players back United, did welcome Mason Mount back into the matchday squad for the 3-0 win at Leicester City on Sunday evening, but suffered another blow during the game as young defender Ayden was taken off early in the second half. The likes of Lenny Yoro, Luke Shaw, and Amad Diallo, but are all expected back before the end of the season. Discussing plans for the international break, Amorim said, "We are going to divide the group. Some of the players like Mason Mount and Toby Collier, they have to work on their fitness. We have to recover players to help them all." He added, "Harry Maguire, Kobbie Mainoo, all these players we are going to try to bring that fitness. The players must make a final push for 2 competitions. Some of the players are going to rest more days than usual. So we are going to divide and give different things for different players and try to be ready for the final 2 months." What next for United? The FA Cup takes center stage the first weekend after international break, with the Red Devils not returning until the midweek Premier League trip to Nottingham Forest on April 1st. They then have the small matter of a Manchester derby at Old Trafford in their next game. While the Red Devils have battled injury problems, Bruno Fernandes has continued to inspire for the Red Devils. He will be in action for Portugal over the coming week, and asked if the midfielder maybe needed a break, Amorim said, "No, I don't feel that in Bruno Fernandes. He's a special guy in that aspect. He's always ready. He can recover quite well. I don't know about the future. I am just reading what the performance department tell me about the numbers, and then what I see in the game. So I always see a Bruno that is dangerous, and one Bruno that can recover in every situation. So he's going to stay there." John McGinn's 4-word verdict on Marcus Rashford is damning for Man Ud and the player. The noise around Marcus Rashford at Manchester United has quietened a bit as Ruben Amorim's men have started playing well on their own. However, Marcus Rashford still remains a hot topic of discussion, especially due to his good form for Aston Villa. Unai Emery is a Rashford fan, and the player has been recalled to the England squad as well, leaving many to wonder how just a change of surroundings can make that big an impact. Well, as per John McGinn, it has made all the difference, with his 4-word verdict on Rashford reflecting damningly on United, while the player isn't blameless either. How and why did it come to this? John McGinn's 4-word Marcus Rashford verdict. It was regularly said that all Rashford needed to do to find form was leave Old Trafford, and that has proven to be the case. Away from the intense scrutiny and glare at United, Rashford has been freed at a team that is in the best moment of its existence in the 21st century under a very capable manager. Villa stalwart, John McGinn, recently had some words on how Rashford and his partner in crime Marco Asensio are developing at his club. Of all the things he said, his 4 words, that Rashford can now be seen with a smile on his face, reflect badly on a player who wasn't feeling that way at his boyhood club, and a club that failed its boyhood fan. McGinn said, "They have maybe lost their way for certain reasons, but what they'll get from us is love and support and teammates who will graft for them. We want them to be happy again, and every day that you see them, they have a smile on their face. That's when you know footballers are happy and at their best." In that game against Club Brugge, Marcus played his best game in that second half. He was a constant threat. Rashford and Man Ud must share the blame. It is easy to read McGinn's comments and come to the conclusion that United didn't provide him love and support, or his teammates didn't graft for him. However, the reality is that Rashford was given unconditional backing by multiple managers at Old Trafford, and he had instances of unprofessionalism under every single one. Therefore, the blame must be shared between the club and the player on how bad things had gotten between the two, a process that Ruben Amorim didn't start, merely accelerated. Nevertheless, it reflects damningly that a boyhood United fan has had to leave his club to rediscover the joy he had for the game elsewhere. Neither party comes out of this with very much credit to their name. Ayden Heaven Man United injury latest. Recovery message. Ruben Amorim worry. Expert prediction. The latest Manchester United news as Ruben Amorim waits for an update on injured starlet Ayden Heaven. Manchester United face an anxious wait to discover the extent of Ayden Heaven's injury. The 18-year-old had to be stretchered off in Sunday afternoon's 3-0 victory at Leicester City, following a coming together with forward Patson Daka. Heaven required medical attention from both United and Leicester medics before being carried off on a stretcher. He was later spotted leaving the King Power Stadium with a protective boot on his right leg. However, at least initially, the promising news is that he was able to walk out of the stadium without needing crutches. The match at Leicester was only his second start for the club after arriving from Arsenal last month. Heaven has showed his potential and has brought a sense of calmness and composure to the defense. Here, the Manchester Evening News takes a closer look at the latest news around his injury. Ruben Amorim comments. Speaking to reporters during his post-match press conference, Ruben Amorim said, "Well, we have to evaluate during the week. He's a young kid, he doesn't know how to explain what he's feeling, so it's hard for us to know something. He's a little bit more calm now, but we have to assess during the week. But he's doing a great job, and it's a shame if he has something for quite a long time. We wish him all the best." Ayden Heaven breaks silence. Heaven issued a message to United supporters via social media on Tuesday afternoon. Taking to Instagram, he said, "Thank you guys for all the support. I have read all your messages, and I'm doing really well, recovering fast." Injury expert verdict. Physio Scout has predicted Heaven's injury as a lateral ankle sprain before providing a potential recovery time. Manchester United to present frightening request. Want 60 million to sell player. Rasmus Højlund scored for Manchester United against Leicester City at the weekend, but his future at Old Trafford remains uncertain. So far this season in the Premier League, the Dane has scored only 3 goals, and there's growing confidence in Italy that his time could be up. Gazzetta dello Sport have reported on Napoli's interest in the ex-Atalanta player, stating that Højlund is currently at the top of their shortlist of forwards in the summer. The newspaper believed that the 22-year-old will be sold by Manchester United, who want to balance their books, and selling Højlund could give them a lot of funds to maneuver in the market. As of now, though, the Red Devils' request for the striker is frightening, as it's thought they want a fee of $60 million because they are unwilling to make a capital loss in the deal. That price tag is currently out of range for Serie A clubs, even though Napoli have made first contact with Manchester United. If the Italian giants do find an opening, they will look to understand the terms of a potential transfer. The Spanish giants want to strengthen the center-back position in the summer window, and the 19-year-old leads the list. That's according to Wednesday's edition of Marca, who state the Bournemouth player is highly valued over other targets. Højlund arrived at the Liberty Stadium from Juventus last summer and played 27 matches for the Cherries. The report states he's meeting all expectations at Bournemouth, and it has seen him end up on top of Real Madrid's list. His performances have helped him receive first call-up from Spain in this international break. As also explained, the Champions League winners are looking for a new centre-back in the next window. Real Madrid want a player who is young, has experience of playing in a top league, and has the potential to develop into a future star. As state, the Bournemouth star meets all 3 and is also a Real Madrid fan. Carlo Ancelotti's side like Højlund because he meets all the requirements except the price tag. The newspaper states he has a $50 million release clause in his Bournemouth contract. Meanwhile, the defender gave an interview to EFE, relayed by Estadio Deportivo, where he was asked about the Real Madrid links. "It's an honor to have such a big team interested in you. It's something special, and it means you're doing well," he said.